Hello, Australia. My name is Liz Duggar, RFX Circle and Lexus Achiever in Rodan and Fields. Welcome to our training. We really hope that this empowers you and gives you the resources and some ideas on how to move forward right now until we officially launch in May. How exciting is that? To actually be official. I know you're super pumped about getting some products in your hands. So today I am coming to you to talk about finding your why and crafting your story, which is very important in this business. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself, which goes hand in hand with crafting your story. But we have a little saying here in our team and throughout the Rodan and Fields organization: facts tell, stories sell. So people are intrigued by this company because of the facts, because we have an incredible product that's backed by clinical data. So you do not have to even put it on your face. It works for the majority of the people. So that gets them intrigued. Your story, though, your personal story of why you're doing this business and of what the product is going to do for you, is really going to be what sells people in this business. This is a people business. It's a very emotional business. It's a word of mouth business. And so that's what we mean by facts tell and stories sell. So we're going to talk today about finding your why. It's going to be very different. Your initial why is going to change so much. My why has changed tremendously because I've been in the business for 6 years. And then we're going to talk about crafting your story. So just a little bit about me. I'm going to give you my short story. So I am in Knoxville, Tennessee, actually Maryville, Tennessee, which is the eastern part of Tennessee. So I've got that nice southern accent. And we are on the East Coast, southern region of the United States, East Coast. And I'm right at the foot of the Smoky Mountains, Great Smoky Mountain National Park. If you were to Google that, we're famous. We are the world's most visited, we are the United States' most visited national park. Our national park is free. That's probably why so many people come here. It is beautiful. It's very beautiful. So back to my story. So I owned my own marketing company. I actually worked in the boating business right out of college. I was in marketing, worked for a company called Mastercraft Boat Company. You guys have some of those over in Australia. My husband now works for Malibu Boat Company. They actually have a factory in Australia. So I worked in the boating industry for Mastercraft for about 8 years. Loved it, absolutely loved it. Had so much fun. For most of that part of my career, I was single. I was traveling all over, and I loved it. I didn't have kids, and it was just a great single job. Had a lot of fun. Too much fun. And then I met my husband, who is an engineer in the boating industry, and we ended up getting married. And I got married later in life, and I knew that we wanted to start having kids right away. Family was very important to us. And so I knew, though, that I could not keep going with my career because I wanted to be very present with my children. I did not want to be traveling all over the world. There was one of my little peeps right there walking by. We're making cupcakes here in a minute. But anyway, so I started my own marketing company. My husband really encouraged me. He said, I bet that that would give you flexibility and time to be with the kids. Oh my gosh, boy was he wrong. It was awful. It was way worse than I had expected. I was making great money, but all I did was work all the time. And I was pregnant with the little guy that just walked by, and I was really depressed. I just thought, I mean, I love my career, and I love like being able to bring something financially to the table, but I really wanted to be more present with my kids. And so I was at the most depressed time of my life, and a friend of mine shared Rodan and Fields with me. Um, I had never been interested in direct sales at all. I would have probably been the last person that you would have asked to do Rodan and Fields with because I was such a corporate person. Um, but a friend of mine, thank God, shared it, and the brand, of course, being in marketing, the brand totally spoke to me. Doctors that created Proactive Solution. I didn't even try the products. I was like, Proactive is a worldwide brand. If this product is half as good as Proactive, then we are really onto something here. So being a numbers person, I understood that. I was like, this is business. These doctors have already been successful. They're going to do it again. And so I jumped in. I have come a long way, but I was very nervous about getting out of my comfort zone and sharing the opportunity, sharing the products, but the products spoke for themselves. As you can see, you've got some real Australians that have seen real results. And I started having success. And so, lo and behold, shortly after launching my Rodan and Fields career, was able to cut back some clients, which gave me more time with my kids, which is what I really wanted. After 2 years being in the business, was able to completely shut down my marketing company and just now do Rodan and Fields, and just, I mean, an incredible financial vehicle my family has been given. So, am I thankful for Rodan and Fields? Yes, I am thankful because this business has provided me time. Time that I wanted to be able to have the flexibility to be able to spend with my kids. And so that's what this business is. It's more than skincare. It gives you the opportunity to be able to live a big life and to have a great life and to live life on your terms, whatever you want that to be. So let's talk about finding your why. So when you initially start this business, your why is going to change over the course of time and as you grow your business. So when I started this business, my why was to be able to make $500 extra a month so that I could maybe let a client or two go and be able to pick my daughter up at school. That was my why to doing this business. And so I would encourage you to really think about, okay, what is my why? Why am I doing this? It may be as something as small as mine. Mine was super small, and making $500 extra a month in Rodan and Fields is very doable, very doable. So, think about what your first goal is in this business, and that is your why. It may be that you want to maybe go down to working 4 days a week instead of 5. It may be that you want to make enough money to buy a boat. It may be that you want to be able to pay for childcare. It may be that you want to, increase the amount of time that you get to go on vacation to be with your family. It may be that you need to buy more food. I have a business partner, Becky, who you heard from earlier. She has 3 boys, and she's like, I can't afford to feed them all. They're eating me out of house and home. You may want to adopt a child, and that takes money. Money is the seed to be able to do things. So that's what this business can do, is give us the financial means to be able to do that. So think about what your why is and dig deep. I have heard people say before that you will know your why when it makes you cry. It doesn't necessarily have to happen that way. But when I was first building this business, my why was very emotional to me because my family is the most important thing to me. And so the reason why I was building this business was very emotional to me. So when you're crafting, so we figured out your why, what that is. And I want you to communicate that to whoever brought you into the business. So once you've done that, communicate that. I want you to write it down. It's so important for us. We can have it up here, but once we put it down on paper, that's when it really means something, okay? So you're telling a story. So I want you to write out why you're doing this business. Now, as you're crafting your story, I would love for you to interject some facts in there about Rodan and Fields, and I am going to give you some facts. Some facts that even though we haven't launched here in Australia yet, they're very real facts that are happening here in the United States, and I can promise you, and I know beyond a shadow of a doubt because it's happened in Canada too, that it will happen for you. So we are the fastest growing skincare company in the United States. That is a fact. We are, and that is for 8 years in a row. We're the fastest growing premium skincare company 8 years in a row. So as you're telling your story and people are saying, why are you doing this? You can interject into your story. Maybe that speaks to you. They're the fastest growing premium skincare company in the United States. That means something. And just to add a little bit to that, the other companies that we're competing with are global, worldwide brands. Lancome, Estee Lauder, Clinique. Those are the other companies, okay? They've been around for over 60 plus years. We have only been around for 8, and we are the fastest growing. So, and actually we're number 2 in the United States market. So that is huge, okay? Just to give you a little bit of idea about our growth. So as Becky told you earlier, we used to be in high-end retail department stores, and we were number 1 actually when we were in high-end retail. So you would actually walk into a store and purchase the product and check out at a register until 2008, and that's when they put the product in the hands of independent consultants. When they pulled the product out of the stores, we were a $10 million company. Rodan & Fields at that time was a $10 million company. And we probably ended last year at $1 billion. We haven't been told that yet, but I'm pretty sure that we have. So for a company to go from 10 million to $1 billion in a little less than 10 years, it's almost, finding companies like that is almost like finding a needle in a haystack. Our products have won the Stevie Award, which doesn't really mean a whole lot to you, but here in the U.S. that's a big deal. Other companies that have won that are Apple, Hewlett-Packard, Coca-Cola. That's a big deal. I know you have those products in Australia. As far as our products being in the media, all over the media here in the United States, and we can pull some of that information for you. So there is a ton of validity to our company, a ton of validity to our product. Not Rodan & Fields touting the product and the company, other media partners touting Rodan & Fields and the product. So throwing in those facts is huge, and can be huge for you even in Australia as you grow your business. So as you're crafting your story, I want you to make it personal, okay? Writing it down, making it personal, finding the emotion side of why you're doing this business, and then interjecting some of those facts. And I am going to post some of those facts that you can pull from. We have a school here called Harvard Not sure if you've ever heard of it. It's a pretty good school. Harvard actually invited us a couple years ago and did a case study on Rodan and Fields. It was a statistical case study talking about how great the opportunity was. So that's another thing that you can add to your arsenal of facts. You want a combination. When you're developing and crafting your story, you want a combination of emotion and facts, okay? When I'm listening to someone's story, if it's all emotion, I'm like, doesn't do anything for me. But if it's emotion tied to some facts, I'm really my brain is all factual. I want all the facts. So when I hear that data, I'm like, yes, that is what I want to hear, because that's proof. That's proof, 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 proof. And Liz likes proof. Proof that things are going to work. And the numbers are in my favor. And let me tell you, the numbers are in your favor. So what I'd like for you to do, if you haven't done it already, is craft your why. I want you to tell your why and incorporate in there some things that speak to you about Rodan and Fields. Maybe it's the doctors that created Proactiv Solution and you've tried Proactiv before, so you knew this would work. Maybe it's because it's the fastest premium skincare company in the United States. Maybe it's because you saw some before and after pictures and you couldn't refute it. I don't know what it is. Interject facts into your story. Write it down, share it with your sponsor, and let them critique it. Okay, one last thing. You need to have like a short story and a long story. So today I gave you kind of it was kind of a medium-sized story. It wasn't the super long one, but it wasn't the real short one either. So have different versions. Now, you're going to want to practice this. Because it's very important, because you're going to want to talk about Rodan and Fields to your people, and they're going to ask you why you're doing this. And so you're going to want to have your short story prepared, your medium-sized story, and your long story so that you can just pull it, pump it to them. Yep, you're going to want to have that so you're not all freaking out and scared to talk to them. So how do you do that? How do you prep for that? Well, you need to practice. Get your cell phone, record yourself. Record yourself sharing your story. Stand in front of a mirror. I used to do this all the time. I would stand in front of a mirror and pretend like I was telling someone my story. I would critique my body language. I would critique how I said things. That is how I learned how to develop my story with Rodan and Fields. Sharing that with other people so that they could critique me was huge. Okay, so little bit of homework there, and I would love to hear all of your stories. If you want to share them with me, I'd love to hear them. It's probably one of my favorite things to hear. Is I love hearing stories. Lastly, you need to know that I have one regret in this business, and it's actually something I couldn't control. I wished that someone had found me and told me about the Rodan and Fields opportunity sooner than what I had heard it. So know that you have an incredible company and an incredible product in your hands. If I were you and in Australia, and I make a great living doing Rodan and Fields, but I wish that I could just turn back time. I wish that I had ran faster with this business. I would be a lot further along. Don't take this for granted. I know it's scary. I know you're scared, but just trust us. If I could have been one of the first girls here in the United States in Rodan and Fields and had run super, super fast, I would be a multi-millionaire right now. You have that same opportunity in Australia to be one of the first. To be one of the first in your country. How amazing is that? I think that is one of the, and I can't even control that. I can't control when the first person shared Rodan and Fields with me, but I wish that someone had been able to share it with me sooner. I wish I could have been one of the firsts. You're sitting very, very, very pretty. craft your story, craft your why, and start talking about this opportunity and share it with people. Practice makes perfect. And if you want to share it with me and let me critique it, I'd love to hear it. So thank you all so much, and I can't wait for you to tap into the rest of our Australia training.